Over the last 48 hours, something happened at Tesla that just caught the entire robotics industry's attention. And if you care about the future of work, manufacturing, or where AI is actually heading, you need to understand what just happened. Stick around because by the end of this video, you're going to understand three critical things. First, exactly what Tesla just revealed and why it matters more than you think. Second, how this changes the entire competitive landscape in robotics. And third, what this means for your investments, your career, and the future of labor. This is the kind of move that shifts entire industries. Let's break it down. On May 22, 2025, Tesla announced a major breakthrough with its humanoid robot project, Optimus. Here's what happened. Tesla released new footage showing Optimus performing complex tasks with unprecedented precision and autonomy. We're talking about a robot that can now do things that required human oversight just months ago. The robot demonstrated the ability to sort objects by color and size, handle fragile items without breaking them, perform assembly tasks in a factory setting, and most importantly, do all of this with minimal human supervision. But here's what most people are missing. This announcement came right after Boston Dynamics released their own humanoid update, and just weeks after Figure AI secured a major partnership with BMW. The timing is crucial. What's happening right now is a three-way race between the world's best roboticists and deepest pocketed companies, and Tesla just made a move that signals they're not just participating in this race, they're trying to dominate it. The real technical achievement here is in what engineers call embodied AI. Tesla's team figured out how to make Optimus learn from demonstrations in a way that's faster and more flexible than previous approaches. In practical terms, this means you can show the robot how to do a task once or twice, and it can generalize that skill to similar tasks. That's radically different from the old approach of programming every single movement. This capability was demonstrated on camera. A human operator showed Optimus how to organize parts in a bin. The robot then performed the same task autonomously without additional programming. And then it performed variations of the task, different parts, different arrangements, without human intervention. Tesla claims Optimus can now perform tasks at roughly 50% of human speed and accuracy. That might not sound impressive, but it's crucial context. Just 12 months ago, early Optimus prototypes could barely walk reliably. Now they're performing precision tasks at half human capability. The trajectory is what matters here. At this rate of improvement, full human-level capability in specific manufacturing tasks could arrive in 18 to 24 months, not in 10 years, not in 5 years, in less than 2 years. And when you're talking about manufacturing, construction, and logistics, industries worth trillions of dollars, 18 months is nothing. Let's start with the most obvious impact. Manufacturing costs are about to collapse in specific sectors. Right now, a factory worker in the United States costs roughly $25 per hour in total compensation. That's wages, benefits, training, and management overhead. A humanoid robot like Optimus, once mass-produced, will cost somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000. Let's say $25,000. If a robot lasts 5 years in a factory setting and works 24/7, that's roughly 44,000 hours of operation. Divide the cost by those hours and you're looking at about 57 cents per hour of labor. Now, robots don't need benefits, don't take sick days, don't require retraining for new tasks, and don't demand wage increases. The economic math is brutal. Within 5 years, factories that adopt these robots will have a 95% cost advantage over factories that rely on human labor. This isn't hypothetical. This is coming, and it's coming faster than most people realize. Here's the second critical point that most analysts are missing. Tesla doesn't just have a robot. Tesla has something far more valuable, a data advantage. Tesla has been collecting data on human motor control and task learning for over a decade through its autonomous driving program. Optimus is benefiting from all of that accumulated knowledge. Figure AI, Boston Dynamics, and other robotics companies are starting from scratch or starting much further behind. They don't have Tesla's data, they don't have Tesla's AI expertise, they don't have Tesla's manufacturing expertise. This is Elon Musk's playbook. Move fast, accumulate advantages, and then use those advantages to dominate a market. We saw it with electric vehicles. We're about to see it with physical AI. I want to be direct about this one because this is where the rubber meets the road. Warehouse workers, assembly line workers, construction laborers, logistics coordinators, these are not jobs that are going to gradually disappear over 30 years. What we're looking at is a potential 30 to 50% reduction in these job categories within 10 years, possibly faster. For investors, this is a massive opportunity. For workers, this is an existential challenge that society needs to address right now, not later, but now. The companies that adapt to this reality first will dominate. The regions that invest in retraining and new industries will prosper. The ones that don't will face serious economic disruption. Tesla stock has been controversial for years. Critics argue the valuation is too high. Bulls argue that investors aren't pricing in the optionality of Optimus. This announcement shifts that argument. If Tesla can successfully scale Optimus to even 10% of its manufacturing capacity within 5 years, the revenue opportunity is enormous. We're talking about potentially 50 to $100 billion in annual revenue from Optimus sales and manufacturing efficiency gains. That's not priced into Tesla's current valuation. For investors watching Tesla, this announcement just changed the investment case fundamentally. Here's what I expect to see unfold. First, you're going to see an immediate competitive response from Boston Dynamics and Figure AI. Within weeks, expect announcements about new capabilities, partnerships with major manufacturers, and probably some funding announcements. Second, we'll see the first real-world deployments of Optimus in Tesla's own factories. Tesla has over 400,000 employees globally. Even replacing 5 to 10% of warehouse and assembly roles with robots would create massive demand. Third, watch for supply chain bottlenecks. Tesla will need to source components for thousands of robots. This creates opportunities for semiconductor companies, actuator makers, and battery suppliers. Within a year, expect the first major contract announcements. Ford, GM, or another major automaker will announce a partnership or purchase agreement for Optimus units. This will signal that the technology has crossed from impressive prototype to production ready. You'll also see the first serious pushback from labor unions and worker advocacy groups. This is going to become a political issue. Expect congressional hearings, regulatory discussions, and probably some protectionist legislation. By mid-2027, we'll know if Tesla's trajectory is real or if they've hit some fundamental technical or manufacturing limit. If they've succeeded, you'll see a rush of investment into competing robotics companies, a feeding frenzy. Startups will get acquisition offers. Venture capital will pour in. If they've failed, you'll see a pullback. The hype cycle will reverse. But honestly, based on this announcement, I think they've made the breakthrough. Here's what's interesting if you're looking to invest in this trend. The direct play is Tesla stock. But the stock already reflects some of this optimism, so the risk reward might not be as attractive as it seems. Better opportunities might be in the supply chain. Companies that make actuators, sensors, power systems for humanoid robots. These suppliers will benefit regardless of which robot company wins. Second, look at companies that help factories integrate and maintain these robots. Software, engineering services, training. These will be massive opportunities. Third, bet on the regions and companies that solve the retraining problem. How do you upskill displaced workers? There's money in that solution. Look, this is a generational opportunity if you position correctly. First, decide, are you bullish or bearish on Tesla? This announcement is a significant point in the bullish column, but do your own research. Second, identify which companies in the supply chain benefit most. Which sensor makers, which battery suppliers, which AI chip companies will be the key bottlenecks. Third, consider the macro play. Which countries, which regions, which industries are best positioned to benefit, and which ones will suffer? Fourth, watch for the investment waves. There will be waves. First wave, robotics companies get funded. Second wave, software and integration companies. Third wave, retraining and new industry creation. Here's where I'd be looking if I were starting a company right now. First opportunity, become a robotics integrator. Companies have zero experience deploying humanoid robots at scale. They need help. That's a service business with high margins. Second, build software that makes Optimus and other robots smarter. Optimization layers, task-specific algorithms, safety systems, these are all needed. Third, invest in robotics for specific industries that aren't being addressed. Healthcare, agriculture, hospitality. There are verticals where humanoid robots could be revolutionary but aren't getting attention yet. Fourth, be the bridge between old and new. Help factories transition, help workers retrain, help communities adapt. There's real value in that transition work. This is the honest moment. If your job is in assembly, warehousing, or basic logistics, you need to take this seriously. That doesn't mean panic, it means plan. Skills that will be valuable in the next decade: robotics maintenance, robotics programming, system integration, AI training, and human skills like management and complex problem solving. If you're early in your career, invest in learning these skills now. If you're later in your career, start networking in industries that will grow as robotics expands. Healthcare, education, creative industries, places where human touch still matters. This moment matters because it's a signal of where we're heading. The AI revolution that started with language models and image generation is now moving into the physical world. Robots that can actually do things, not just process information. This convergence, AI software plus robotics hardware, is where the next decade of value creation happens. Understanding this trend, even if you're not investing or building, helps you understand the world you're living in. That's the full breakdown of what just happened at Tesla, why it matters, and what comes next. The robotics industry is moving fast, really fast, and the winners will be the people and companies that understand these trends first and position accordingly. Now, here's what I want to know. What's your take on all of this? Do you think Tesla's timeline is realistic, or do you think they're going to hit significant technical hurdles? Comment below. Let me know what you think. And if you're interested in staying ahead of these kinds of developments, if you want to understand the trends that are actually shaping the future of work, investment, and technology, subscribe to Real AI Advantage. We break down these stories every single week. News analysis, technical deep dives, investment implications, and the real world impact. We help you understand what's happening and what it means for you. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.